I could use totes to keep the things I've been able to scrub and save. Glass, pots, pans. We have to look towards the dry out. The camper by our house was our backup plan. The water rose so quickly I couldn't save it. I put the animals first instead. After 9 years, I let my bug-eyed butterfly goldfish go in the lake. My koi were dying. The water picked up an 89-gallon tank and stand and moved it 4 feet from the wall. The only thing stopping it was the couch. It's sad that in all this, when you have lost everything, you watch your animals suffer and die. When the water burns holes in your skin, but you wade right back without a second thought, and no one seems to give a shit. We're putting our stuff to the road yesterday, and a black gentleman gets out of his Mercedes and helps us with his bare hands. Maggot infested on his hands, sewer-laden trash and debris. This will never make the news. Neither will breaking down in Walmart when there's nothing on the shelves and getting grabbed from behind and hugged by a stranger that you cry together. We'll make it through this. It's going to be rough. I was born and raised here, and I'll be damned if I'm driven out. This is the land I love and the land we will remain. They turned away hundreds of people with boats. So they went into the bayou and they put their boats in, and they did it anyway. The Red Cross won't take your donations. They turned away new stuff because it wasn't from an organization. People are cooking in parking lots, feeding hundreds of people. I've seen people coming from hours away to bring us food that isn't available here. My lake is deathly still. The land is death. The water has a film in it like gasoline in a puddle. Dead fish everywhere from the lakes that were endless. We spent an hour scooping minnows out of a puddle and running them to the lake to try to live. Dead carcasses of possums and coyotes are hanging in the trees. My dead turkey hanging so high up, rotting in the tree, I can't reach him. It's endless. I took my animals with me, my chickens and the girls in the SUV. They stayed with us wherever we went. I just brought them back a couple days ago. I bought a round fence, and they were in the yard with a tarp for a few days. I homeschool all my girls, and all that equipment's gone. I haven't really spent much time on thinking of school. The local school's canceled weeks at a time already. Everyone knows you need all hands on deck for something like this. All those teachers and students, they lost their homes too. It's basically an understood that school was something to be dealt with in the next month or so. I waited in line forever today at the post office, only to be told my mail carrier has all my mail, so if I want it to be held, fill out this form. It'll take 4 days to process. Because of the length of the socket sitting in the water, it's unwise to put power back to anything unless you know what you're doing. Most people don't. We'll have to replace every socket in the house. They were immersed for 40 hours. Our Lowe's that was closed was flooded too. So the scarcely stocked stores don't have much left. There are many areas that energy cut the power totally off and will require an inspector to turn back on. It took us 12 hours of wading through the water, all the way up to my chest to get most of my animals out. I couldn't save, but all I tried. I didn't save a thing of ours until all my animals were dry on the ground. The last thing I swam back for was my wedding dress. It was the only piece of clothing I was able to walk away with. It's always been Louisiana fending for ourselves. Katrina taught us that lesson. This time, though, National Guard told people to not help because they needed a permit. That permit cost $50. But people said, you know what? We're going to do it anyway. And that's how the people were saved. And that's how we had each other's backs here in Louisiana. We are Americans, we are Louisianans to the core. I bought a bag of crumbles today, some game bird food in Gonzales. All I have are my Bantam chickens. People gave me pellets, the ducks were eating those, too big for Bantams. It's almost twice as much as I pay for one bag, as I usually spend, but beggars can't be choosers, right? I know we're all hurting, we're tired, we're mentally exhausted. I won't sugarcoat it and say it'll all be great soon. It's gonna be a long road. We're made of the toughest cypress, the most flexible bamboo, the tallest oaks with Spanish moss blowing in the breeze. We're the alligators that guard the swamps, the heron that flies so gracefully, the bats in the moon at night, the loomy smell of the bayou. Just remember the whole state loves us, and there are so many people that are neighbors and friends that we can lean on. Offer a shoulder to, give hugs out like Halloween candy. You know you'll get hugs and probably tears in return. Remember what makes Louisiana, and nothing can take that away. Love each other, help one another. I've seen it every day since the start of this hell. It reminds me of what a great state that I'm privileged to be a part of. Come hell or high water, we're Louisiana strong. We didn't have shoes for the first week. I kept the girls out of a lot of the water, but my feet and legs paid the price. They finally stopped bleeding when it dried out, and they started to heal. People need to be careful and tend to their wounds at night.
Louisiana.